CityCast Philly is brought to you today by Jones Dairy Farm. They're a seventh-generation family-owned and operated premium meat maker with products like dried-aged bacon, all-natural sausage, and America's favorite center-cut Canadian bacon. And they make sausage available in pork, chicken, and turkey. There's no preservatives, additives, MSG, nitrates, fillers, and they only use fresh ingredients. Find out more at jonesdairyfarm.com. That's jonesdairyfarm.com, making breakfast better since 1889.
Hey Philly, this is Matt Katz, executive producer of CityCast Philly. I'm popping in to let you know that we are hiring a senior account executive to lead advertising sales in our market. If you have a track record in sales, if you've got strong relationships with local businesses, if you live here and love this town, we want you. Join our team and make a real impact by connecting Philly businesses with our incredible community of listeners. Apply now at citycast.fm/jobs.
Today on CityCast Philly, we are getting very close to City Council's approval of a new arena for the 76ers in Center City. This week, council leaders have been intensely negotiating a deal with the Sixers to increase the amount of money the team would give to the community. The so-called Community Benefits Agreement could increase as much as $100 million. In the coming hours and days, City Council is expected to take final votes to approve the proposal. And those that live near the arena say that's not enough money. John Chin is the executive director of the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation. I spoke with him earlier this week to understand how people are feeling in Chinatown, which is next to the spot where the arena would be built. It's Thursday, December 12th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. John, you're the executive director of the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation. Can you tell me when you first heard about the 76ers arena proposal? Do you remember where you were? Were you shocked by this?
Yeah, that would be July 2022. I was in my office and we actually got a call from the 76ers telling us that they wanted to meet with us. And the meeting... when we met, that news really blew me away.
John, this isn't the first time Chinatown has been targeted by city leaders, developers. Can you tell us a little bit of the history here? What has Chinatown been able to fight against over the years?
We have a long list of urban renewal projects that we fought against, and a good number of them we've been very successful. You know, the Pennsylvania Convention Center, Vine Street Expressway, the Phillies baseball stadium, the commuter rail tunnel. The government proposed to put a federal detention center next to our elementary school here in Chinatown. That didn't happen. But yeah, there's over the history of Chinatown, there's been numerous proposals. We've been successful with some and we haven't been successful with others.
John, this is also a little personal because you grew up in Chinatown, in this neighborhood, right?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Chinatown. In fact, the Vine Street Expressway proposal was the very reason that my nonprofit organization, which I lead right now, Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation, was formed. It was to fight against the expressway because it would take away many homes, demolish many homes, and even proposed to demolish the Holy Redeemer Chinese Catholic Church, of which I was a student of in first and second grade.
And it also divides the neighborhood too, physically.
We've had to deal with this division for, 40 some years now. We've lost 2 blocks of residential homes. We've lost 3 blocks of commercial buildings in Chinatown to make way for the expressway. And yeah, we have a Chinatown commercial district, and then we have a Chinatown North, 2 very separate communities.
So your work pretty much has been to protect Chinatown as much as you can.
Yeah, our mission is to protect, preserve, and promote Chinatown. The protection seems to be necessary every 7 years. Some urban renewal project idea comes along. And, the message to us is that this project is for the good of the city of Philadelphia and the region, right? It's not, they're coming in, this project's going to be great for Chinatown, right? Because we know it's not. And that's always been the struggle, is that These projects, the primary purpose is for the benefit of Chinatown. The highway, bringing drivers from one section of the city to the western section of the city. Federal prison, because it's close to the courthouses and they want the convenience of having people who are detained close to the courts. The Phillies baseball stadium back in 2000. We want a downtown stadium. Here's a lot of space next to Chinatown. Let's build it here. And the 76ers downtown stadium is like, here's a perfect place because the fashion district is a failed project. And we're going to help revive Market Street East. So there's always a reason for these developments, but Chinatown's not the primary reason.
John, why do you say that this newest proposal, the arena, isn't good for Chinatown exactly? What are your fears? What's the worst case scenario if it does get built?
First and foremost, arenas don't bring any organic benefits to a neighborhood. Okay, I think that's a fact. The worst case scenario that we all know that is true, Washington, D.C. and its Chinatown, that Chinatown is basically erased, is decimated.
They have the Washington Wizards are down there.
Exactly. They built the arena for the Washington Wizards and the NHL Capitals team. And that has had such a negative impact on that entire neighborhood, including Chinatown.
Do most business owners live in Chinatown?
Many of the business owners do live in Chinatown. There's a good portion that do not live in Chinatown. But Chinatown, if you pay attention, Chinatown are small mom and pop shops. The commercial businesses are on the ground floor. But if you just look up, there's multiple apartments above these commercial entities. So Chinatown's really a mixed use neighborhood. It's a mixed income neighborhood. And this is the sort of the model that Chinatowns across the country are based on, right? A strong commercial district that has great employment opportunities, a big residential base. And the third part of Chinatowns is that we're a hub for the celebration of authentic Asian American culture.
Okay, so I'm curious. Let's say City Council says no to this proposal. What would be your dream list of things that you want Chinatown to look like, feel like in the next 5 to 10 years?
If we have the opportunity, I think we have seen Philadelphia's Chinatown as one of the stronger Chinatowns across the country. If we have this opportunity, it's about expansion of this model of Chinatowns that's made us successful. Again, commercial component, residential growth, and let's just strengthen up the cultural hub that Chinatown represents, right? Because in the last 20 years, we've seen that immigration from Asia and Hispanic immigration have really fueled the population growth of Philadelphia. So we are a destination. So let's take advantage of that. Let's bring in more entrepreneurs. Let's bring in more residents who want to be in Philadelphia. But what they need is the economic opportunities. So create more jobs, create more opportunities for entrepreneurs to open small businesses.
We'll be back after this quick break.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. One of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
It's interesting that you said about job creation because that's one of the key talking points that folks who want the arena say. They say that, 9,000 jobs will be created. This is an opportunity to rehabilitate the Market East neighborhood, which we talked about, kind of being kind of like a dead zone in Center City. The mayor supports this, the building trades, some clergy members. What makes this not a good case for Chinatown?
It really is the gentrification that comes with new arenas. It's the displacement. And, it's a loss of a unique cultural hub in the greater Philadelphia region. I mean, the closest Chinatown that we have to here is really New York City, right? New York City's Manhattan. And, there's a large enough Asian American presence in Philadelphia that can support a Chinatown. But, we're attractive to people of all makes, races, and colors,
In your perspective, there's no way that they could build the arena next to Chinatown without actually destroying Chinatown. Like, what specific ways would this play out, do you think? There's multiple issues here, right?
Yeah. So I think that Philadelphia is experiencing gentrification all over many neighborhoods. So the arena, I think, is gentrification on steroids. Okay. Because you look at the Brooklyn Nets arena that was built, their business model was, we'll build the arena and we're going to develop housing all around the arena and commercial space. That's where the developers make the money. It's the development around the arena. So Chinatown abuts the arena, so we're around the arena. And mom and pops can't afford the rent that we're going to realize after the arena is built. And residents definitely can't afford the rent. So there's going to be a lot of businesses and residents being pushed out. It's really the gentrification, and that's what we have to protect against.
And then there's going to be years of construction, and then the effect of what happens after the construction, right?
Thanks for bringing up construction. 6 years of construction, right? The lesson we learned from the SEPTA construction of the L between 43rd Street and 60th Street is that it decimated the African-American small business owners along that stretch of Market Street. So business disruption from construction is a real thing. It's documented. And it's very hard for small business owners to expect the foot traffic to come in on a construction that's going to take an entire block. And then after that, you're going to have to market and promote to people to remind them that these businesses are here. Those that survive.
How many businesses would be impacted by this?
Chinatown has almost 300 businesses. Okay. We have maybe about 54 restaurants. Right? We have retail shops. So I think the way we look at it is ground zero is the actual construction site. Within a block of that, I think those businesses will have a very difficult time of surviving. And you go out 2 blocks from that, you're getting into the center of Chinatown. We cannot afford to have construction trucks, construction vehicles, anything related to construction to sort of eat into Chinatown or use our streets or sidewalks. It's going to be very challenging.
Now, you also mentioned gentrification and how residents could be displaced. Do we know the number of residents that could be displaced if this project gets greenlit?
Displacement can happen in a few ways. I think we have about under 23% of our population in Chinatown right now are at or below the level of poverty. I think they are the most vulnerable. Fortunately, we have affordable housing in Chinatown, so I think those residents will be able to stay. But those that are just living in regular private landlord-owned properties, they'll be the first to be pushed out. And then if real estate values continue to increase or the quality of life changes for Chinatown because you're dealing with a sports arena, that may actually cause displacement of higher income families with children, maybe because this new type of use coming to Chinatown doesn't fit with the family use.
A sticking point during negotiations has been the Community Benefits Agreement. This is that lump sum of money that the city and the Sixers negotiated for how much money will benefit the community. The dollar figure has gone from $50 million, and some reports say it could move to $100 million this week. That dollar figure has gone from $50 million, and some reports say it could move to $100 million this week. If the arena is going to happen, how much money would be a right amount to give to the community as part of this agreement?
Yeah, when we look at the amount of money necessary, that number adds up to $300 million, okay? It's
Big difference.
a huge difference. Yeah, it's about protecting Chinatown, but part of that sum of money is also about ensuring that there's programs that will help and benefit families citywide. Okay, when we talk about gentrification, anti-displacement, and affordable housing, these are things that we need to do citywide. The $300 million amount needs to be invested in affordable housing, business disruption, and other services that ensure that families who are most vulnerable to displacement can remain in the neighborhoods that they choose. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
John, before we sign off, was there anything else you wanted to say or mention?
Yeah, I just want to say, we're not here saying we're against the arena, right? Because we agree that it has an economic impact. It's creating construction jobs, and it's creating jobs after it opens, right? What we're saying is that the arena butting up against Chinatown is a significant problem and is going to push Chinatown towards erasure. That's the issue that we're trying to deal with, and that's why we've seen so much city support across the city from a pretty broad coalition of neighborhoods and people.
John Chin, Executive Director of the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation, thank you so much for speaking with me on CityCast Philly today.
I appreciate being here. Thank you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode with John Chin, tell your neighbor, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Friday News Roundup. Bye.